I would like to thank the partners of Chamber of Commerce for all the partnership in organization of this event. It's very important for us. It's very important for Europe. The illustration of advantages of being member of European Union could be done also with such event. When we gather here representatives from Romania, less dependent country from Russian gas, and Bulgaria, most dependent country from Russian gas. I hope, I believe one day after careful drilling we will be also less dependent, but for time being we have to cope with the situation. Bulgarian Chamber of Commerce and Industry has raised its voice for necessity of diversification of the energy supplies immediately after first gas crisis 2014. When Europe have not taken note on this and have not worked for these years since 2014 until now for the diversification of the gas supply, including Bulgaria certainly, it's valid for Bulgaria. Still Bulgaria is very much dependent. I will avoid any technical matter because I'm lawyer by profession, and I will speak only for from strategical point of view. Prices of electricity and gas lastly rose, and thanks to the efforts of employers' organizations, thanks to understanding on behalf of the European institutions, there are some money allocated for helping businesses to survive during this situation in Bulgaria especially. These are money that are covered, expenses that are covered above certain level of the prices. For time being it's 250, if I'm not wrong, level. And it will be like this. Maybe we gave a good example to Europe for the sources of this money, and for Bulgaria we insisted and we succeeded to pass this through the state institutions. The money, the source of money for covering the surplus over 250 level to be from energy producing companies, the biggest one nuclear power station in Kozloduy, which surpluses only with 20% of them the government cover all the help to the businesses. So we see that European Union is about to recommend to the other countries to use this pattern also. Now the question about who should use these advantages for covering the expenses, bigger expenses for energy sources for the companies. We believe that equalization that was principle during the socialist time should not be followed anymore, and the money that are taken from certain source, if we would like to help the businesses, should be returned to the companies, not all of them certainly, it's impossible, to the companies that have been taxed for this. For example, it is fair, I could say, if certain company spends more money or use more electricity, to receive respective part of the price of the electricity, because this money have been taken in advance from them, paying for the electricity. We are not ready to support, and we will not support taking money from the companies that make their surpluses from electricity prices, this money to be given for gas users, for example. There should be a very clear dividing line between these things. We are not alone. This should be taken into account also. We are not alone in designing the measures and proposing the measures and defending them in front of the government institutions and keeping them in operation. We are together with all the other officially recognized employers organizations. You know, in Bulgaria there are 5. 4 of them are internationally recognized. I will not enumerate all of them, but we succeeded to design together joint measures and to defend them together, and to follow now, to ask for following up the realization of these measures, not only until the end of the year. This is very important to be known, but even after 1st of January 2023. I will just mention that we will encourage investment in energy efficiency. We will support any ideas for reduction of administrative burden, reaching, I don't know how it's in Romania, but in Bulgaria still the government's promise to reduce the red tape, to reduce the formalities for installment of solar panels for own use, not to sell them to the other consumers. They promised, but it was just cosmetic change into the administrative rules. We will fight further to reduce them. I'm ready. I will stay for a few more minutes here. Chamber of Commerce is at your disposition. Chamber of Commerce will not leave you alone. Here we have representative from Analysis Department, Bogovesta Jabirova, just behind me, sitting. If you have questions which will appear after that, do not hesitate to put them to Analysis Department of Chamber of Commerce. Sometimes such questions give us signal for better solutions for the problem. So that I will be very thankful for any ideas, and I wish success of today's meeting. I would like to thank all the sponsors to this event. Some of them are in the rostrum, on the rostrum. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Simeonov. I will ask you to stay here for a moment with the microphone. Just one comment from my side, if my understanding is correct. My colleagues from Romania may correct me if I'm wrong. I think that Romania managed to reduce bureaucracy in installing small size capacities of PV. So no so many approvals from the local level especially. But at the same time, better is the enemy of good, because in Romania there are some blockages, because most of the people interested in such installments, households I mentioned, wait for subsidies. They are promised, but they are very hard to reach. So there is some kind of blockage here. But one question, if
thank you very much. This is I accept this like question. I omitted to tell that we are very careful for the plan for recovery and development that is not yet approved by European Union because of multiple changes in government in Bulgaria. Everybody coming with his or her ideas. But in this plan, we keep our eyes open for support, financial support of all the interesting ideas for improvement of renewables like source of electricity in Bulgaria. This will be also subject to the new programs that we plan for the next program period. So thank you for noticing this omission on my side. There will be several billion euro for these purposes, and we are thinking one more sentence, not only for installing them, but for working with them. So we have, how to say, encourage academy for solar academy, for example, and there is NGO now in this sphere that is working hard to, because state system of education and is very not only disconnected, is very conservative. It will be difficult to change programs, to put new professions into the schools, secondary professional schools, and into the universities. That's why we have established NGO that will be focused only on this topic.
Good to know. Maybe we'll talk a little bit more about it. If you have any questions, please show me your interest. If not, I have one question for you. I suppose that you could answer for 1 hour, but I'll ask you for a 2-3 minutes answer. Are your member companies in the chamber satisfied with the current form of the measures taken by the government in respect with preventing, I don't know, difficulties for households in dealing with the energy prices? You're a lawyer. Are you talking about capping? Are you talking about new taxation? Are you talking about various forms impeding the activity of the companies? I'm curious how the feeling is.
I would just mention taxation, which is at the lowest possible. I think there is only one step down, zero taxation. 10% for corporate tax and 10% for personal incomes, I think, is the minimum that will be possible in European Union. They are pushing even now to follow the decision for 15% on the big international companies taxation. This is one. Second, we think we are in everyday contact with the companies. So the measure for covering the expenses over certain ceiling is a working measure, is not that big burden for the budget, because these are money, incomes, profit of state companies that were not planned into the budget. And bigger part of these surpluses are left again in the companies for, they are not bar to improve their everyday work, their machines, reconstruction, etc. So this measure is okay, but now we are pushing for similar measure for gas consumers. It's not yet solved, and it will be subject for those that follow the situation in Bulgaria. We'll see that we again have noticed the government that it's not typical for employers' organization, but we show that we are able to organize protests not less numerous than the trade unions. Thank you.